indication that you're at a good point?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like mentally, at a good point. Obviously, physically, you can't tell where you're at till you get in there against live bullets. But for me, it's just going out there, great execution in and out of the huddle, clean play calls, and the ultimate goal, just moving the ball forward. Not seeing any negative plays. That could be even just mental negative plays. And then obviously your physical negative plays, your interceptions, fumbles, whatever it may be. So just making sure that, not only myself, but the entire offense as a whole is playing clean.
How have you seen Logan Woodside improve this training camp, but also help you in your role?
Yeah, Logan's been a great asset for me, ever since he got here, at the end of last year. Throughout this entire offseason, we were working together. Just two Kentucky boys just going at it, having some fun out here, doing what we love. But, he's I obviously haven't get to see him play much before. Obviously, I got here. But, he's been, one of those guys for me that's just always there. Any question I got, he answers, or, whatever I need help with, he's there. And we just bounce things back off of each other. So, Logan, being a quarterback in our room is a great asset.
Is it really beneficial to have someone where you can bounce ideas off that in the same room rather than being competitive?
Yeah, I mean, still at the end of the day, like, everything's a competition. Nothing's guaranteed in this job, especially in this position or any position, There's only one man that can play our position on the game at the field at one time. But, yeah, I mean, it is cool, obviously being able to not be, all feisty or whatever you want to call it in the room. But, even, going back now all the way through college, high school, it's called a healthy competition. If he's pushing me to be better, I'm pushing him to be better, it's going to make us both better.
You said you need to see live bullets before you get a good feel for where you are physically. Do you have anything you can say about how more than one series, more than two series, how long does it take you to get that read as to where you are physically?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd love to get hit once or twice in that game just to, kind of shake some of the rust off from almost, what are we, 8 months, 10 months out from whatever I last played. So, just get in there, hopefully not too many hits, but, maybe one or two won't be bad for me. But no, it doesn't matter how many drives. I just want to get in there, like I said, keep the ball moving forward and continue in a positive way.
In terms of actually getting hit, is there some seriousness to that for you? Does that help in some ways? Does that wake you up? Not wake you up, but
Yeah.
is there something to that for you?
Yeah, no, sometimes, like, that's what gets me, like, in the flow of the game. Maybe it's a sack, maybe it's a little pushover, whatever it may be. Sometimes I'd rather not feel like I'm out there at 7-on-7 and, have all day to throw and not get hit. On Monday I'll feel great. But, in the game, I might not get up to speed that quick. So, for me, sometimes I like taking a little hit just to kind of get in the flow of the game. It makes me feel like everyone else out there that gets hit every play.
Have you always been like that? Or?
Yeah, I feel like I'm one of those guys who's kind of always been like that.
When you go into a game, is the ball distribution any part of your thought process, or does that just have to come with the game plan and the looks you get defensively?
Excuse me. Yeah, that kind of comes naturally. Obviously, through game plan, you have specific plays that are designed for specific people. And then you get into the flow of the game and, how the game's going. Maybe one guy's hot, one guy's not. Maybe one guy needs to get hot who hasn't caught one in a little bit, so you need to just kind of find them a completion, whether it gets their hopes up or whatever it may be. But, yeah, for me, it's just about, I like to say, find the easy completions, take what they give you. You can't go broke taking a profit. So not always trying to force plays, just rather give what the defense gives you.
So you do have, sounds like you do feel some responsibility to make sure that all of your guys are getting touches or at least feel involved, whether it's getting them easy completion or maybe talking to them on the sideline to say, this is why X, Y, and Z is happening.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think, most of the sideline conversations, you come over after, or maybe, Sunday night, you might get a phone call, hey, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? And, I tell them, hey, we're just staying within our reads, staying within the offense. Like, I'm going to go back, we're going to look at it, get you next time. But, some of those guys just need a reassurance that, that you're looking at them, that they're there. Because, sometimes they might go through a stretch and might only have one or two catches. And that's tough at the receiver position. I think myself, that's why I chose the quarterback position, so I could always have the ball in my hand. But, yeah, it's tough.
So you have gotten calls on Sunday night as a quarterback or Saturday night from a teammate who says, hey, what the heck's going on?
Oh, yeah, of course. Sometimes, like I said, things might not be going the way, that they think it should go. Whether it's a win, whether it's a loss, a lot of the times, and, it's just self-nature to, want to be that guy, to want to get the ball, to want to make the big plays. So when it doesn't happen, obviously they're a little frustrated, a little mad, but you just kind of have to bring them back into reality. Like I said, at the end of the day, I said, hey, if it helps to run the ball 300 times and that's what we do and we win, then that's what we'll do and we'll keep on winning.
This group has got a lot of guys that you can get the ball to. How nice is that? And then / does it become a challenge at any point?
Yeah, like I said, for me, it's always just been about giving the playmakers the ball to let them go make plays. So like I said, it doesn't have to be 60 yards downfield. It could be behind the line of scrimmage, just getting them the ball, getting in these shallow routes, just getting them going, and just getting them down the field. But for me, it doesn't put any pressure on. Like I said, we got all the weapons, so it just makes my job easier.
This will be y'all's debut. And the first time they see y'all. What can you tell them they're going to see from the offense Friday night?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It should be explosive. Should start fast, finish fast. That's one thing that we've preached ever since we got here. So, obviously when the ones get in there, we want to play. We want to start fast and execute well.
And going against the Bengals, no Coach Zach, I talked to him in Arizona. He recruited you out of Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah, thank you for correcting. The Cincinnati people have trouble with Louisville. So.
Yeah.
But it'd be like seeing Coach Zach, and know you got business to do, but he's an important person in your career.
Yeah, no, Coach Taylor, is one of those guys who, made my transition to Cincinnati even possible. He was a guy, extended out the offer to me. And then we've been in touch ever since. Obviously me playing at Cincinnati, him returning back to Cincinnati as a head coach. We talked throughout all the draft training and everything. Talked last year and we played him up there. So it'll be fun just to go back and be able to play.
Does going into your first preseason game, knowing you'll play, but also this season in general, feel different than where you were last year, knowing this not setup, but like your role is increased? Yeah,
it obviously feels different because I know I'm the starter. But at the end of the day, like I said, from my routine and everything that I've done since the day I've stepped foot in here, it hasn't really changed. I've wanted to be the guy who I am today, and just keep on building and keep on growing.
It seems like such a simple question, but how excited are you then?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited, for Friday, for next Thursday, and for this Sunday, 2 following after that. So, just to get this season going, I know we're on a good path to success, so I'm excited.
At first, like you said, it's gonna be like, let's go.
Yeah, oh yeah. As long as, yeah.
I don't know if someone already asked this, but how much do you get out of actually playing a game with all these guys around you versus these practices, and even the joint practices?
Yeah, sometimes, a lot of the guys say practice sometimes is harder than a game. Just because, you go up against your defense all the way since April, May, whatever it may have been. So the defense knows the calls. The defense knows when you're going to snap it. They've seen the looks multiple times, so things happen a lot faster. You get into a game, things start to slow down a little bit. The defense has to second guess some things, which really makes them kind of slow it down. So for me, it's fun to just get in there and just go play and feel the difference. And then, obviously as things get going, you put more stuff on tape. Some teams get acclimated to it, and it starts to pick back up.
That's so interesting that you say it slows down in the game rather than speeds up. So I feel like everyone says the game's faster than practice.
Yeah, sometimes it just all goes to preparation. One of my high school coaches always told me, he said, nerves are for the unprepared. And that's something that I've kind of lived by, my whole life. That, if you're unprepared out there and, whether it starts with the play call and you don't know the play call, it's gonna hurt to get you in and out of the huddle. Next thing you know, the play clock's rolling down. It's 8, 7, 6, and you're always speeding things up. Excuse me. So, if you're prepared, you get out the huddle. There's 22 seconds left. Okay, take a deep breath, and you got time. So that's what I mean. Things kind of slow down when you're more prepared.
Anything else? Just how do you kind of find a balance when you're on the field of like trying to try some things but not pushing too much, especially in a game like this where it's still preseason, so it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, I wouldn't say preseason doesn't matter. For me, every single game, every single snap matters. Like I said before, none of these games or none of these plays are guaranteed. Everything could be taken away in one play. But for me, it's obviously about going out there and sort of trying new things. Obviously, we do a lot of that at practice. But, it's trying new things but being safe with the ball. That's obviously one main thing on offense is ball security. So for me, that's one thing that I take pride in. It's not trying to force things, but when plays are there to be made, try to make them.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
AJ,
What has this transition been like for you, as you guys have been here for a few years now, in terms of turnover in coaching staffs, turnover in personnel, as a guy's been here for a while, for you to watch from the sideline?
You said watch from the
A watch from the field, just watch from the locker room, just.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, like a blink. So, as soon as every year is a different coach staff, different players, and a different culture you trying to, bring it to a new team. So, the best thing for me is just doing my job and just making sure everybody on the same page and just being able to play fast when we out there. So, like I said, it's like a blink in the eye when you just see how the people just come and go, but that's the business that we in.
When you compared it, and I realize 2 years ago is a long time ago, but when you compared it, kind of the tear down and rebuild started then, what you have and what you have now, what do you think when you look on the practice field?
I don't know. Like, I feel like when you, as a player looking in, you always feel like you have the pieces to the puzzle when you see new faces coming in. And people that come and go is always sad to see them leave. But just being a player, having that positive, look on the team, you always just think that it's, a bigger picture ahead. And what we have is what we have. So just going out there and just doing what we can is a major thing.
And every year you've had different corners starting opposite you.
Yep.
Is there something to that in terms of like continuity where it would help if you had a guy opposite you for a long time, or does that not matter in your position?
That is crazy, having a different partner on the other side of you every time, but it's a business, you always want the person that you come in with or the corner that you're with to have longevity and build with that person, but it's not super likely in the business that we in. So, just doing your job, doing what you got to do, and everything else will just take care of itself.
Right, I guess what I'm getting at is, offensive line, there's continuity if you're playing next to each other. Quarterback, receiver, there is continuity. I just was wondering whether with two outside corners, whether that, or even a nickel corner, or if that continuity can help, or if that's just kind of not as.
No, it helps. It helps. The chemistry, all that stuff that you build going into a season, going into a game, it all helps. Building in camp, just and then, like you said, just going into that next year, hoping that you had the same group of people. But that's not what I can control. So, you all, like I said, you just want to play with the same people forever, but it's not likely.
When the new coaching staff came in a couple of years ago, when did you begin to realize there's going to be a lot of changes around here?
I don't know, because I was a young guy coming in. I came in with Dan Quinn, and things changed mid-season, like early mid-season. So, I don't know. For me, it was just doing what I had to do and making sure I, stay accountable for what I had to do, and keep the other guys accountable and just stack off of that.
What do you get out of a preseason game for you to play?
Get a lot out of preseason. A lot of guys haven't played since last year. Just coming back in the groove of things, trying to make sure a lot stamina right, chemistry right, just making sure you're just attacking each play as if you're playing the whole game, because that's the game that we live in. So I get a lot out of preseason with schemes, preparation for the game, leading up to a game, and just how you prep for it the night before, and just go out there and just do what you do.
You mentioned the scheme part of it, and this year, obviously,
Yep.
the new one. How important is that for you to get out there, just kind of have those live bullets?
Yeah, it's very important, and like you said, live bullets, just making calls on the fly. Just trusting within the scheme, everything that we prepare for during camp as a group. So that's really what preseason is, just getting everything down, everybody being intentional to details, and just flying around making plays.
When you were watching your teammates having success last week, some sacks, some other big plays, interceptions, did it make you more anxious to get on the field yourself?
Yeah, always. It ain't fun sitting on the sideline, and I was telling them, like, I play better. I pick up on the game faster when I'm out there playing. Like sitting on the sideline cheering on is cool, you know, cheering the guys on, making plays. But every player want to be out there on the field. Standing over there on the side with the sweatsuit on or the pads on, it get old real quick. The game be going by slow. So, you know, everybody will touch the field some way.
How much can you take from watching the way the scheme kind of looked and how, you know, the second 13 guys were running around, how you guys are
You
kind
said
of
scheme?
Yeah, like when you look at how they played and just the energy, the aggressiveness, how encouraging is it for you when you know that that's what the system that you guys are going to be in this year?
That's great. Like right now in camp, it's all about building the culture right now. So seeing the guys go out there flying around, making calls, making plays from all phases with offense and defense and special teams it just goes to show you the depth of the team, you know, and what we have as a whole. And just like I said, just seeing guys going out there and making plays it just shines light on everybody, the whole team.
When you have so many new bodies like this on that side of the ball, should it be expected that it might take a little while before things come together, or do you think it could? I mean, obviously the last game, the preseason game, was a good sign, but can you get any sense of it from practice for how quickly you guys can come together?
Yeah, just the preparation leading up to games and just trusting the scheme, everything that we do, and all the calls that Nielsen calls, you know, just going out there and just doing your job, your 1-11. So, you know, that's what everybody's out there doing. And if everybody do their job, everybody pick up on things faster and we'll start making plays.
What's your early impression of Coach Nielsen?
Early impression?
Yeah.
Real intense guy, real passionate. He loved the game. He poured that into us every meeting. It's never a dull moment or where we just slacking around. He always keep the energy up, and then the guys feed off his energy, and he feed off our energy. So it's like, it's very good.
Anything else? All right, thanks, guys.
You have so many new guys on that side of the ball this year. I know you weren't here last year, but obviously a lot of new bodies. How do you sort of gauge where you are, where you could be, where you should be at this point?
Yeah, I think it's a day-by-day, play-by-play thing that we look at. I think our coaching staff has done a good job of coaching fundamentals and scheme together. You know, our biggest thing for that game was execution, tackling, and takeaways. And some of those things showed up, but they can be better. You know, so what we'll see is, you know, I thought we came out here and we had a physical practice today, and I think we got a little bit better, but next time we play, we just want to raise the bar, you know, and so we'll gauge, you know, we'll judge, you know, just day by day. But look, NFL is a one-day, you know, it's a one-day season every day, you know, and you gotta come out here and bring your best, because if you don't do it, you're gonna get beat, you know, and that's every game, you know. So look, we try to just focus on just the next game and not you know, look down the road at whoever. Let's just, you know, play this preseason game number 2, and everything else will take care of itself.
There's obviously a lot of traits that can make a great defense: physicality, speed, intelligence, whatever.
Yeah.
Is there one that, in your view, rises above the other?
Well, you know, with Coach Smith and the overall, you know, program is, you know, being aggressive and attacking and being physical, and you know, those are the things that we're preaching on defense, you know, and it all starts from the top, you know, and so, you know, that's what we want to see: physical plays. We want to see physical tackling, you know, guys running and hitting. So that's, you know, that's what we're coaching, and you're starting to see that show up a little bit.
What was that first
I don't
game?
know if you're an analytics guy or not, but the numbers in terms of drives with a sack are, you know, 35% less likely to score or whatever. How do you value? That's a vague term. A sack.
Yeah, but really negative plays. That's what we want to, whether it be a penalty, you know, a cause penalty, a tackle for loss, you know, sack. You know, we're always trying to create some negative plays, get the offense, but you know, behind the sticks. You know, so if we can create some second and longs, you know, it's in our advantage. And so that's just how we look at it. You know, we want to create. We don't have a number how many we want. We want to create a negative play every single play.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of how we look at it. Is every player is a takeaway opportunity, and there's a negative play opportunity.
There's a lot of talk that, you know, sacks are valuable, yes, but you know, affecting the quarterback is, you know, some people will say almost as important. Do you believe that, or is it about getting that guy on the ground?
Yeah, it's ball disruption. It's also coverage. You know, tell you what, Jerry Gray and Steve Jackson done a great job in the coverage, and you watch those guys cover in the game. You know, that quarterback's holding the ball a couple of times and allows the rush to get there. That's ball disruption too. You know, and so some of those sacks, I mean, they had a couple two-man routes, and we had a couple of add-ons with the linebackers, and that's created because, hey, we double team. The guys did a good job in the back end and double teaming the two-man route or the three-man route or whatever it was, route combination, gave us some time up front to get there, and so it all works together.
It seems like, and maybe I'm making too much of this, but it seems like almost every day there's at least one tip at the line of scrimmage by your guys. Is that something that's an emphasis? Is that something that can be coached? Is that instinctual?
Yeah, I think, again, ball disruption, right? Tip ball, tips at equal picks. So it's just a drill that we do, just so because you practice it, right? And some guys have a knack at it a little bit better than others. But you want to stay on, hey, affect the quarterback, push the pocket, hands up, get in the throwing lanes up front so the ball can't come out clean, so you can't see receivers, things down the field like that. So it's all encompassing.
When you're looking at guys, though, I mean, obviously Calais is the size advantage in some ways of doing that, but
yeah.
When you're looking at guys to bring in, do you pay attention to some of that in terms of whether they have that skill, that trait? Because some defensive linemen just don't.
Right, yeah. But, some of the guys have it. Some of the guys don't. It doesn't make them a better, some guys do things better than other guys, and so that's something that, we'll look at, hey, this guy had so many affected pass, batted balls, tip balls, whatever it was. But that's not the ultimate decision on bringing a guy in or whatnot. But it does help.
A guy like Grady, who obviously is a very good player, but, a lot was put on his plate with not much around him. Maybe other teams could double team him a lot. Bringing in the guys that you brought in this year, how much could that really help him keep him fresh during games?
It's just one of the things is our front office, Terry, Art, bringing all those guys in, just you're always looking to improve the roster. It's a daily thing, and that's with the guys that we have here in terms of fundamentals and technique, and you want to raise their level, but also better players, that may be out there at another position that, a Jesse Bates, that we wanted to bring in and elevate that, and has helped the guys around them. And so there's a combination of things. But yeah, Grady's a good player. He's had a lot of success, and now, you had a couple other good players around him. Hopefully he'll have some more.
Did you spend much time looking at film of these guys from last year?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, through the interview process, wanted to know who was on the roster, what do we have to work with, kind of what kind of how they played, things like that. And then how can we have those players in the best positions, in this defense to make plays. Our coaching staff had a lot to do with that. Frank Bush being here, Matt Pease. Those guys, we had a lot of conversations. Jerry came in, we studied the tape. We got Dave Huxtable with the D-line, and we had a lot of conversations with the players before we kind of all got going and kind of put the whole thing together. Again, so this when we first got here, this is kind of it's a collaborative effort. It's our defense. Those guys have done a great job, and it was really cool when we first got here, and those guys, and hey, where do we see this guy and his skill set, and what does he do best? That was a really cool time in the process when we all first got together and started, looking at these guys. So, but we continue to do that. That's a daily thing that we're, this guy in this place, or is he in the right spot, or is he in the best spot for him and for our team?
I know you don't want to name specific names, but when we were watching the film last year, were there areas that you thought could really be improved and maybe the defense was lacking?
Yeah, I don't want to get into that, but I appreciate the question.
In general?
Yeah.
General?
Well, I'm not going to do that, but that's okay. Thank you.
Your head coach trained you.
When you look at, like you're saying, you look at different guys in different spots, like what's the first thing that tells you to look at a guy and maybe say, maybe you can do that, maybe you can do this?
It just depends on, look, is it a free agent? You may be watching some tape. Is it a college? We're looking at the draft, those type of things. So traits, you're looking at traits. You're looking at the tape for, awareness, instincts, things like that. And so it's just this, and again, our front office, our scouting department, both pro and college, they say, hey, here's a list of guys, go through it. Here's the guys that we like, and, get with Art and have the conversation of, hey, how does this guy fit us? Is he right for our, program? And so it's a huge process because we do want the right guys here.
Just out of curiosity, what defense in the past that you've been associated with stands out to you, a particular year, a particular team?
That's in the past. This is the future. So we're going to keep going.
Ryan, quick question.
Yes.
Do you feel like throughout the week in Miami, the kind of confidence, momentum, growth, whatever you want to call that, the joint practices kind of fed into that first preseason game?
You know, you're right. You did feel it. Like the first day we went out there, and it's the first time against another opponent, you know, and all being together, you know, coaches and players, players and coaches together. And, you know, we kind of got going a little bit, and then the next day picked up a little bit, and you felt the players kind of, hey, you know, it's a different new scheme, all right, and where do I fit, you know, when the bullets are live, you know, and they've got to, this is what's great about preseason is they kind of get their feel of, you know, where I can make the play and my leverage and my gap and those type of things. And you felt the confidence from the first day to the next day to the next day. And the coolest thing was the guys playing together. Like, that was awesome. You know, guys set the edge, linebacker Phil, or, you know, we got a good rush and the ball sailed, we got an interception, or we got great coverage and we got a coverage set. You know, all that stuff works together, and so that builds confidence.
So that's how you see the growth in that first preseason game, or how you kind of mark success in that game. But how do you do that in the second preseason game?
Just continue with it. Yeah, continue, because we have some different guys out there, and so this is now their first time. Right. So there was a couple of things that we had to go through the growing pains and get ironed out and things like that. But yeah, it'll be a similar deal.
Ryan, I see your interaction with Calais after a lot of the drills. I'm sure you're that way with a lot of the guys too. But a couple questions. Is he still open to learning? Does he still have more to learn and can kind of help you kind of coach too?
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think he's having fun. You know, just, you know, he's getting into going here a little bit, and those other guys have been through the individual, the drills and things like that, and just bringing them up, hey, this is why we're doing things, and just having an open dialogue and constant communication, why we're doing things. It's as important of what we're doing, is explaining why we're doing the drill or why you're supposed to be here, you know, and everything like that.
Does he almost serve as a second coach on the field?
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, he's played so many big-time football games and plays, and I mean, his awareness is unbelievable, his instincts, things like that, and just the presence that he brings to the guys. It's like, man, I tell you what, he's a huge person now. I mean, he's enormous out there. It's awesome to see. You know, he locks his arms out and he sets the edge, and you know, that's what we're looking for. It's pretty cool.
On Sunday, guys were talking about how, although it wasn't the starters on the field, it really showed off what you guys have been working for, like the energy flying around. How encouraging is that for you? Knowing it wasn't even the starters out there, just everybody on this roster kind of set the tone of what you guys are
doing. Yeah, just keeping this thing going in the right direction. Just keeping the train on the track moving down. And that's every day is what you're talking about. You know, we're emphasizing that, and again, that comes from the top. So that's our team meetings, everything we're doing in our defensive meetings, everything, you know, aggressive, being attacking, you know, going forward body lean, you know, run and hit, those type of things, and so we just, you know, challenge, and we talk to the guys is, hey, do it on Monday, do it on Tuesday. Tomorrow, here comes another day tomorrow. Keep this thing going. Let's not worry about down the road. Let's just do it one day at a time.
Is there a ringleader to that energy? Are you the ringleader?
No, I just think we have such a great staff and players that everybody together brings a different, you know, we want everybody to be an individual but play together, you know, and so you play to your personalities and your strengths. And so we got a lot of guys, you know, it's our coaches and players, everybody jumping up and down, having fun, and that's what it's all about, right? It's playing defense. And so, like I said, just let's keep that going. Let's keep pushing this thing and doing it again this week.
What's your approach going into the second preseason game?
The same thing. I'm going to try to come in. I feel like I had a solid game, but I feel like I still got a lot of things to work on. So I'm preparing to get a few snaps and do that, get better.
What are some of those things you need to work on?
I just feel like, me personally, it's my technique. You know, I got to get my technique better. I feel like I got to tackle better. I got to be more aggressive, and that's what I'm going to work on going into this week.
Was that something you noticed or that the coaches pointed out?
I feel like the coaches pointed it out as a whole, but it's also something self-evaluating. That's what I just personally want to get better on.
When it comes to this training camp as a whole, what are some areas you've already seen improvement in yourself, and where can you still get better?
And myself, I feel like for me, it's all the mind game. I feel like it's all in my confidence. It's all in me believing in myself that I can do it, and that comes with practice, reps, believing in my technique, and believing I belong.
Have you received that positive reinforcement that you'd like?
I feel like I have. I've also received some constructive criticism, which is also important. I try to stay level, not get too high, not get too low, and just execute.
What were those constructive criticisms?
Just win within my technique. I feel like the ultimate goal is always to win the rep, but it would be nice to win with the correct technique for when you go against a more skilled player or whatnot.
When you say technique, what are you speaking to specifically?
Just my press. Staying square in my press. Getting hands on at the line, not getting too handsy at the top of the route, and form tackling. It's an array of things that I just personally want to get better at.
Do you feel like you took a step forward in Miami, that whole week of joint practices and the game and everything?
Personally, I feel like I did, just because, like I said, for me, it's mostly a mind thing and a technique thing, and I feel like it boosted my confidence a little bit. And I'm getting a better understanding of the playbook. So I'm gonna just try to go into this game, focusing on my technique and build off what happened last week.
Do you feel like the entire defense kind of took a step forward? I mean, especially going up against Miami, the speed that they kind of had in those joint practices and stuff. Do you feel like that helped you guys kind of going into this week?
I feel like we did. But I feel like as a whole, we want to build off that and play even better going into this week. Tackle even better. And just as a whole, get better.
Do you feel like that game set the bar for y'all now?
Yeah, of course. I feel like we always talk about the standard. So I feel like it's the standard. So we gotta retain the standard.
As each thing happened, that was positive for the defense. Did it get more and more fun out there?
Oh, it was definitely fun. It's always fun out there playing, especially against some new guys, and it's fun out there playing with the guys. That's what I enjoy the most, I would say. Talking on the field, celebrating on the field, and just having fun.
How much does that energy help what you're trying to build on the defense?
Oh, it helps 100%. I feel like energy and passion. I feel like that drives effort. That fuels, I would say, togetherness. I just feel like that's an important part of the defense.
So after the first preseason game, I mean, I know obviously you weren't in it, but how's everything kind of stand going into this week and possibly playing for you guys?
Yeah, I think we did some good things. I think the week of work down in Miami was really good for us. It was physical. It was hot. It was good practice. So, yeah, obviously we got a win too. Still plenty to improve on though. So we came out here this week just with that, mindset of getting those things fixed.
Coming here, are you kind of like, all right, it's actually nice out here now? Because that's how I felt. I was like, oh, wow.
It's a little different. I think we can all agree the climate is a little different here, but it's still good work.
Yeah. How much do you guys benefit from that? I mean, for you especially, you're one of the veterans on this team, but...
Should I say I'm old?
No, but, you've been through the joint practices and stuff before.
Yeah.
Like, what do you get out of that in this year for you?
I think it's good just to see some different players, guys who do different things, a different defense and scheme, because that's what the season looks like every week.
Right.
It's constantly changing. You're kind of in this weird bubble right now where you're playing your defense over and over and over again. And it gives you more of a game type feel. So I really enjoy it. I think it's good work. I think we get a lot from it.
That being said, how excited are you to actually get into a game kind of situation maybe this week?
Yeah, very excited. I mean, that's why you play the game. So, whatever they want us to do, I'm ready for it, and I think it's going to be good work for us. And I'm looking forward to, especially playing with guys, a guy like Bergeron, who I'm getting to work with a lot, getting some game experience with him.
Right, and I was going to ask about that for the O-line, especially with those new pieces like you're mentioning. How big is getting in a game situation for you guys to get that gelling kind of together?
Yeah, I think. Like I said, practice is one thing, but when you're actually out there, there's a crowd, there's a game clock and everything. That's real football. So it'll be good practice, and I think we'll definitely learn from it.
How has Ryan Muzio stepped up this training camp, and how have you seen him develop in the role at center?
Into the media darling. I saw his mic'd up thing. That was pretty good.
On that. Let's talk about on that.
Yeah, no, I got you. No, he's done a really good job. He. Just a guy who's put in the work, done everything right. This is his third year now, and he's one of those guys you can trust. You can go in there and, that center position's tough. You got to basically lead the charge with the communication and ID, and he sets the play up for us. So he's done a really good job, and I think that goes a long way to say that, hey, we can put someone in there and we trust they're going to know what to do and get it done.
Do you see him getting more vocal and confident in that leadership role?
Yeah, and I laugh because we give him a hard time, but no, he definitely is. He's definitely one of the, like I said, being able to trust someone is a big deal for me. If you're going in there, I want to be confident that you knew what to do, and he's one of those guys that I know he knows what to do.
Why do you give him a hard time?
Because he's a young guy and we've been picking on him for a couple of years, but no, he's definitely maturing, and he's really becoming a good player in all seriousness. Yeah.
How's Mike just gave you ammo? Sorry.
No, we watched it the other day, and so it's kind of fresh on my mind. Still kind of laughing about it.
Well, how did he build that trust with you?
I think one, just the way he shows up. Showing up every day consistently and working hard. It's easier said than done. A lot of people can't really handle it, and that's what makes the grind of the NFL so hard. It's just day after day working hard, doing things the right way, which is the hard way. And he's done that. He's interactive in the meetings. He knows what he's doing, and he's improving every day. And it's very apparent.
How much of that trust is built on an actual playing field versus a practice field? Like, how hard is it to have that with a guy you don't actually go play in a game?
Yeah, it all starts here, but you're right. I think there's something to be said about playing in a game together, and that's where you really find out about someone. So that's what's so good about the preseason. It doesn't count, but at the same time, you can go out there and get pretty close to real game, experience.
So I gotta go listen to this mic'd up now.
Oh, you didn't see it yet?
I know, I haven't seen it either.
It was pretty funny. We were giving him a hard time. I think they released it yesterday.
Okay.
He was mic'd up in the Miami game.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, so what can you tell the fans that are gonna see Friday night? From the offense, Breon, Desmond. They seen you guys push people around before, but got some new people back there.
It's hard for me to speak for other people, but I know as an O-line, we're trying to give those guys opportunities to get in space, because I'm sure, as you've all have seen and can tell, they're really good in space, and that comes with us being prepared and playing fast. Like we try to build that mindset all year and build off what we did last year. So, I'm excited to see them as well.
And mentally, knowing that coach said, "Hey, y'all gonna play this week," that kind of gets you kind of ready for the season, kind of get the back to some routines and so forth.
Yeah, definitely. There's a big difference between suiting up, knowing you're not going to play, and suiting up like, hey, I gotta prepare because I'm playing today. So no, it's definitely going to be good work against a good team, and we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Jay.
Yep, no problem.
It felt like, from my vantage point, you went for a while and I didn't notice you, and then all of a sudden I was there, Zach. Was I just not paying close enough attention, or did it feel to you like it kind of clicked and then you started making
What you mean?
at practice?
Oh,
or
I mean,
whatever. Yeah.
I don't really know. I feel like I've been working hard every day. It's really all I can do is just work my hardest and try to get better every day. What names come out of it, I really can't control it. So it's just work every day.
Do you feel like there was a light bulb moment for you this camp where everything clicked?
I wouldn't say a light bulb moment, but like I said, just more reps and just getting more comfortable playing at the tempo and the intensity of the NFL. Is just it takes it's a process. So that's what I'm just trying to like I said, get better every day.
How have those veterans helped you?
Oh, a lot. I was just doing work with Calais over there on the little hand sled, but the whole room has been helpful a lot. They've been tough on me. But I appreciate it because they're trying to see me get better. They've been coaching me up, picking me up, telling me things. When coach gets on me, they've been like, "Bro, just do this. Like, this is what he wants to see." So, the vets in the room have been great.
You were probably 8 or 9 when Calais came into the NFL. Like really?
No, yeah.
So, do you remember him as a kid, and how weird is it now that your teammates and y'all are over there working?
Yeah, I remember watching him a lot with the Jags. I remember that one season he had with the Jags, and he's old, bro. But now that I'm playing with him, like he always said, I got a lot of knowledge, and like I said, he's been helping me out a lot. So.
How about the scheme fit? Do you feel like pretty comfortable in Ryan Nielsen's scheme? Clearly, kind of built around this big, powerful defensive line.
Yeah, no, most definitely. The more and more I play in it, the more comfortable I get. Like I said, it's a process, so it's still ups and downs. But as long as I'm trending upward. I feel like it's a good thing. So, you know, I'm getting more comfortable playing the techniques that Coach Nielsen has me playing.
What did you get out of preseason week 1?
I mean, I got the first game under my belt. You know, I got the pregame jitters out. You know, this is the NFL. I got that all out the way. So now next week I just go out there and play football like I've been doing since I was little.
For the joint practice week, what'd you get kind of out of that going into that game? Like, how did that kind of elevate you?
Really the same thing. You know, I've been going against, you know, great O-line here and NFL players here, but to go against somebody you don't know is a little different. You know, to kind of get that, like I said, just get more reps under my belt against a new opponent, you know, helped a lot.
You mentioned getting those kind of jitters out, but is there anything else you watched that film from that game 1 and, okay, I'm going to change this for game 2, or I need to work on this game 2?
I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot of coaching stuff to coach up on the film, you know. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like I could have played better. But, you know, we just got a high standard for myself, and Coach Nielsen has the same thing for me. So, you know, like I said, just, you know, take the coaching and just improve off of it.
What are some things you're going to try to focus in on this second game?
You know, just doing my job and with the perfect technique and doing it the best of my ability. And, you know, do that and the plays come to you.
Have you ever worked with a coach like Coach Nielsen, who's that adamant on the sideline? I've never seen a guy that's that into it with the iPad. I mean, that guy was into it the whole game.
Yeah, honestly, Coach Jay is kind of similar at Ohio State, but it's like, it's different, you know. Coach Nielsen's more like, you know, intense. But I appreciate it though, because like it brings that intensity out of you, and it makes you, you know, like always on your P's and Q's. So, you know, having him on the sideline and every series coming off and saying like, this has to be better, this has to be better, this has to be better, keeps you, you know, improving as the game goes on.
It looked like before you were about to get on the field, Calais was kind of in your ear. Like,
Yeah.
He was like trying to get you fired up.
I mean, he was just telling me go play. Like, just go play. It's football, you know. Just don't make it bigger than it is. Just go play football.
Did it feel big for you? Just kind of putting the uniform on for the first time? Or?
It was different.
Yeah.
You know, anytime you put on a new jersey and a new step up, you know, it's different. But like I said, I'm glad I got the first one in the book under my belt. So now I kind of have, you know, more confidence going out there next time.
I liked your description of Breon Nielsen as I like that. Does the mustache kind of intensify that intensity?
Yeah. I mean, I guess he likes having a mustache. I don't even know. I just know he's like, so. But like I said, I love it though. I appreciate him for how hard he coaches me, and you know, because it's making me get better. You know.
I like that.
Is there anything that Calais has said to you that really stuck out?
Excuse me. Today he's like, it's always been hard work. The secret's always been work. You know, I mean, you hear that and you understand it, but you know, just seeing how he plays out there and this year 45 for him, just like, just knowing that there's some truth into what he says. So just keep working hard every day. Don't relax at all, because that's when, you know, you get passed up, or that's when you have a lapse in play. Just keep working hard every play.
We won't tell him you told
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I make jokes about it every day. He's got no point. He just ignores me. He just ignores me.
That's amazing.